right, we are back here in Osaka, of course, for my Discovering Osaka series here on the Immersive Worlds channel. And I'm trying to remember last time which way we went. We're going to make our way to the Glico sign, but I think I got some daytime video of the area back that way. So we're going to try this. We're going to fight the crowds tonight. Maybe the craziest crowds we've seen this whole trip, and we're going to go through this bazaar here just to give you a sense of kind of this area of Dotonbori, which is very, very popular with tourists. And let's hope we don't get our camera bumped. It's pretty sturdy though. I got my metal cage, but we're going to just kind of check out what we will discover. We came from the Namba station, and if you watched any of my other Namba videos, you know, kind of focused on that area today, discovered some stuff. I definitely need my shotgun microphone to pick up my voice today with all this sound we have going on. And you might say it's a terrible time to come here and explore, but it also gives you an idea just of what you might expect if you visit. Definitely, I was reading an article recently online talking about how certain cities, including Osaka, maybe are thinking about instituting sort of tourism limits. I mean, it's always a controversial thing. We've got a row of vending machines there to our right. But, you know, the concern is, like a lot of other cities think Venice, what Venice did, the concern is that, you know, there just is a lack of sustainability in terms of being able to handle all the tourists. In fact, you could think of Lake Tahoe, which is where I teach and where I live. And there was an article recently, was it Forbes or Fortune magazine, but basically saying that Tahoe should try to, you know, calm down on the tourism because there's just too many people. And certainly when you come here, you kind of have that, maybe that same feeling. And as I'm looking at the street here, I think there's a very good chance that this was the street I visited earlier today. I mean, it's always hard to say because I say, well, there's a Starbucks up there, but of course there's Starbucks in a lot of places. I'm just trying to see if there's something I might recognize. And if I do, we'll spin back around. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to also visit here in the evening with the lights and so forth. And again, we're primarily here for Glico to check that out at night here in Dotonbori. But I think it's an interesting proposition to think about the idea. And I think this was where I would say, because I remember this Glico place. So we're going to go back this way and back across where it came from. But again, still fun to see. It wasn't as busy in the afternoon. If you saw some of my videos, kind of, I don't know, around 1 p.m. or so. Now it's after 7. I was waiting for it to get dark so we could actually go and see Glico in all of his glory, or its glory. I don't know why we gender signs. It's a male person on the sign. But I think this proposition of trying to limit tourism is an interesting one, and very specifically what I was reading was suggesting that we were definitely in this area today, was suggesting that what should be done is the limit should be, you know, placed so that other cities in Japan, besides basically Kyoto, Tokyo, and Osaka, can also receive tourism. What about Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Kobe, other cities that certainly deserve the tourism, but, you know, there are specific reasons that we flock to certain cities. Maybe in Kyoto it's for the shrines, maybe in Osaka it's for the cuisine, maybe in Tokyo for the nightlife, the pop culture, and so forth. So it's a tricky proposition, to be sure. But it's one that maybe at least needs to be looked at, because the concern is valid. The concern is definitely that certain cities cannot sustain the tourism any longer. So we'll wait to cross here. Here we go. Get ready for a mass of people. The metro coming over actually wasn't too bad post rush hour, but clearly people are just conglomerating here, locals and tourists, trying to soak everything in here in Osaka. Yeah, so earlier today I saw a Strawberry Mania, but I almost think it was a different one. Maybe it's a chain, I'm not sure, but we're going to find out pretty quickly here if we were in this section today. I have very little sort of geography when it comes to Osaka. I have a general sense of what's where, but still navigating my way around with iPhone, GPS, etc. And you're just seeing the massive crowds here. So you're probably not even picking up any of the shops. You're seeing just crowds of people. If we hold the camera up, it is crowded. And it's a weeknight. It's a Thursday. So yeah, make of it what you will. But it definitely is very busy. And it's not my favorite thing to be doing right now, actually, but you know where we're headed. That's right, Glico, man. If you could see my facial expressions, it would be a lot of frowning right now. Just because, like anyone else, I don't enjoy the crowds. And you can't really speed up and get around people because it's just so packed in here. And I don't think this is where I was earlier today. We're sort of splitting into multiple lines of people. This is the busiest I've seen it. Again, I'll put the camera up in the air so you can kind of glimpse as we get closer to Glico Man and the canal what we're getting into. Whew, it's hard to breathe. They have ample security out here, I guess, trying to maybe perhaps control the crowd a little bit. I want to cross over to the canal, but it is definitely crazy. We made it. And we may head down there a little bit towards the canal. I took you through that particular mall area in the daytime, and I don't venture to go back there again. You see here just some of the nighttime boat cruises. And we're going to pan around, see Glico. By the way, there was a really bad incident here a couple days ago. There was a fire, and unfortunately 2 local firefighters died in the fire. Very terrible incident. It was just maybe a day after I had gone on that first tour, and here is Glico up here, and become kind of a famous place to take photos. And if you look at just a 360 panorama, particularly on this side here, it could certainly remind you of features of Times Square, of Las Vegas, just in terms of all the vibrancy, the neon, the lights, all the illuminated signs. Some pretty amazing signs if you look up here. But yeah, very unfortunate event. When I heard about that, it was just heartbreaking to hear about that terrible incident with the fire. So certainly we wish the families well who were affected. It maybe isn't something you would read about in the news across the pond in the States or wherever you're watching from, but certainly something that was in the local news here. Getting the shot of the canals. I took my one obligatory shot of Glico. And by the way, this is a packed area with tourists. You hear Italian and German and Spanish being spoken, American English, British English. So it is hopping and a ton of people here. I think what we're going to do is maybe explore a little bit, go down the stairs and check out just along the canal how different it is. Again, if you want to take a shot at Glico here, it's not a big set of people, but a few people I've spoken with who are locals say they don't really get why Glico is so popular. And I don't know. I'm not going to say I agree with that because I don't know the local history. I do know a little bit about the company and the fellow who started the company as I'm getting bumped here, making glycogen and creating healthy products with it. So we're going to head down the stairs here and check things out, and maybe just get bumped left and right everywhere you go. So it's not my favorite place right now, or really for that matter of the week, just because it is so slammed with people. But we'll walk a little bit again. You see Glico back there to the rear, and you see these incredible signage and color neon signs everywhere you look here. So you can really see with the lanterns and everything else why this is so popular. This area is so popular with tourists. It's just not easy to navigate. I mean, a ton of people posing for pictures. This spot right here, no one's standing at, so I can actually take a breath a little bit, and maybe we'll get a shot of the cruise boat coming by. You see Glico just behind us, H&M. So very much a touristy thing. And we hear some New Orleans music playing. The Saints go marching in. Do we got some NOLA theming going on here? I don't know. I'll be in NOLA, by the way, doing an anthropology exhibit exposition at a place called Merchant House coming up in November. So we've got New Orleans in Osaka. I shouldn't say New Orleans necessarily in Osaka because music is universal, but it's something I would generally associate, I guess, with New Orleans, with NOLA. Look, the Pink Hawaii Cafe, that is very interesting, very loud. I do have to say I love all the smell of the exhaust from the boat's a little strong. We'll move along, but I love all the lights and just all the kind of, I won't say gaudy pop culture sort of signage, but absolutely find it fascinating. And the nice thing about this, actually, I just realized now, is we can see both sides, and the fumes are quite strong here from those cruise boats. But they're clearly not electrical, and you can really smell it. It's not terribly pleasant, but I can pretty much give you both sides of the street here, or the canal rather, and I don't have to necessarily, looks like a queuing area for the rides, but I don't have to do both sides, and I'll just make things easier tonight only because it is so crowded tonight. And I suspect it is this way probably often. Many nights, perhaps. And it looks like we dead end over here. We dead end. Oh, yeah, so unfortunately, this is the exact area where the horrible fire happened just a few nights ago. And again, horrible situation in terms of the 2 lost firefighters. Horrible tragedy. You just see here, I didn't realize where it was, and I don't want to sort of show too much of it, but just a really bad situation. And you can see the shrine that's been set up here. Just a bad situation for sure. And there's onlookers up here. Very nice though, flowers and water and drinks being given. The generosity. People who know about it and who are aware of the tragedy that happened. Very terrible. It's hard to transition from that, but just looking up at some of the tops of the buildings, we can see some of the other features. Yeah, again, real horrible situation to have heard about that. And doesn't appear like there's a way to get up back up here. I was kind of curious what we have there. Maybe we'll take these stairs here and get off the canal area and the fumes of the boats. Looks like a giant series of stores. Don't really want to go in here and hang out in here, but snacks and everything else. Double back this way. And I don't know if going up this way is going to be less crowded or more crowded. I would guess more crowded. Passing by a restaurant. The heat is just coming off the grill here. Definitely a ton of tourists. Oh, look at that. We've got a boat that has an actual moving LED or LCD billboard on it. It's very very lit up. This was that pink cafe. It looks very whimsical. Not entirely sure what it is. A very whimsical cafe. And we have all sorts of eateries here as you pass by. You know, as you could guess, it's a very busy, vibrant area, and I guess you could probably eat along here. It seems like it might be nice. I don't know. It wouldn't necessarily be my thing, but if you wanted to and to watch people watch, etc., you could partake in that, I guess. I think maybe we'll make our way up, and then I gather we should venture back through the mall and maybe make our way back to Namba Station, which, like in a lot of cases, you'll find, you know, up to 30 entrances to a given, maybe even more, 40 entrances to a given metro station. So it's always tricky, but if you get lost inside, you can always kind of find your way to the line that you need to be headed towards. Just looking down some of the side streets here. I haven't gone down here. Some graffiti up here, maybe not ideal, but this is not a street I've gone down yet, and I would guess that anything in this area near Glico in Namba, Dotonbori, near Namba Station is going to be very, very touristic, right? I mean, it's happening, it's crowded, but all the while it's, you know, it's fascinating, it's interesting, it's vibrant, and it's the kind of thing, just looking at, you know, signs here, just even looking at signs, you are never bored. People are often in this area hailing, you know, trying to get you to, Japanese kimono girls, you know, trying to get you to come into their place of business, buy something, get some food. There's a nightclub. There's a bar. I mean, this probably feels a little more geared towards maybe tourists. I don't know. Could be locals as well. Not entirely sure. And I want to say that I almost think earlier we came down that way. I'm not entirely sure. But I feel like there's a car coming, we should wait. Kind of a rare sighting here of a car. I don't know, not an easy endeavor trying to drive a car down here. I may be only guessing. I'm trying to remember if today we were actually in this area or not when we did the downtown tour. Not entirely sure. But it's definitely loud, it's definitely stimulating, and I think we're probably just going to maybe flip around here in a second and pick up the video closer back to the station, Namba Station. There's another car behind us. Watch out for that. All right, between the cars and just all the people, this particular section near Glico is not necessarily easy to maneuver. I mean, these cars coming down here is kind of crazy. I did see a parking spot. And by the way, if you know you'd put in the comments below here on YouTube, kind of near that car parking lot, I didn't want to record them, wouldn't be appropriate, but there were young girls sort of dressed in that distinctive Japanese style, like maybe what you'd see in one of those maid cafes that I was talking about earlier today. But they all had signs, and then I saw a policeman and we're just off here to the left, you're going to see Glico. But I was kind of curious, like, well, what was written on these signs? They were all in Japanese. So if you know what the story is with all those girls standing there, I'd be curious. I don't want to assume it's something bad or sinister. I have no idea, but I was just kind of curious. And then the police gentleman I saw, I didn't get this on video, was telling them to move. So I don't know exactly what that was. indicating. All right, between the humidity and the people, we're going to try to make our way back through the mass here and make our way to the train station, the metro station. And it's probably worth just seeing one more time, and you could make your own decision about visiting or not. But as you can see, moving here is not at all an easy endeavor. We'll say bye to Glico man there. We have a Starbucks coffee just a stone's throw from Glico man. And I believe we're going to go straight here and try to make our way through the madness. And you actually got some of this today in my other videos when I was going around, and we saw some of these similar streets, but during the daytime. So now it's at night, and I'm trying to navigate the best I can. People are on their phones, of course, and try to make our way through the maze here of people. It's one of those things where you feel like pick the best route, and it's kind of like Frogger or something. Try to make your way through this crowd and hope for the best. But yeah, I'm absolutely soaked. As I was saying earlier, I have brought extra clothes during this Osaka trip because of the humidity. And today in particular, this is the third trip out, and I had already clocked before this trip 7.41 miles. So I'm sure after someone riding a bike, and this is true bravery, but I'm sure after this, we're going to be well over 8 miles. And I kind of just stop because people stop in the middle. But I was going to say that, you know, when you come to any place that's humid, certainly when I was in Singapore, I mean, so many, the Gulf Coast in the States, Texas, Florida, of course, you sometimes have to have extra clothes just for the practical purpose of being able to change and to dry clothes during the day. And certainly this was a day where I'm just gonna do one more spin over here just because I don't think I've gone this way yet. Maybe not super interesting, but all parts of the city in some respects are interesting, you could say, for sure. Yeah, but as I was saying, with some cool signage. But as I was saying, you know, you certainly, with the humidity, have to think about just trying to keep dry. Oh, this looks like an interesting cat. People are taking photos of it. Looks very important in a pop culture sense. And maybe we'll just spin back this way. Memory serves me right. We're gonna go left here. The tourists are plentiful, taking photos, video, and you just get all these bottlenecks because, of course, people are stopping to window shop and look at stuff, which is cool. But at the same time, it's definitely not easy. This is the Hello Kitty, which I'm sure look at the gargantuan line. Sanrio, any Hello Kitty stores I've been to here or seen have, you know, had mega queues like half an hour or more long. People are very excited about Sanrio and Hello Kitty, of course. And we are back to a mass of people. and it's absolutely, nearly impossible to walk. And I'm going to peek here because very typically I will be able to find my line. I'm sure that's my one of my lines I'm going to be taking back to the metro. Absolutely is. So good news, I can head down there and be free of the crowds. So we are here again in Osaka, Dotonbori. We checked out Glico and some of the malls around here, and if you get a chance to visit, hopefully this gives you a sense of just some of the traffic and the congestion, pedestrian traffic that you might expect. And as always, thanks for listening to these videos here on Discovering Osaka.